Hey gamers, it's K-Wing here, and it's time for another exclusive video review for Game Nights Entertainment. With the game drought creeping up on us pretty soon, Capcom delivers an amazing fighting game only for the Nintendo Wii. Tatsunoko Vs Capcom Cross-Generation Heroes released December of 2008 in Japan, and most of us were very surprised that it released here over the Western world as Ultimate All-Stars, considering the licensing for those Tatsunoko characters had to be an utter nightmare. Anyway, it's time for us to jumpstart this review. The story of the game has the Capcom universe merging with the Tatsunoko multiverse. What foul, sinister creature could be behind the merging of these two universes? Now, Tatsunoko vs Capcom is the 7th game in the Versus series, and Capcom proves once again why they are the kings of the fighting game genre, giving us a balanced fighter perfect for anybody to play no matter their skill level. Like most fighters, this game consists of multiple modes. Arcade mode is the story aspect of the game and has you fighting 7 rounds and a boss fight at the very end. Very similar to how Marvel vs Capcom operated. Versus mode has you fighting against a friend, survival mode is all about how many rounds you can last before you lose, time attack is how fast you can beat the game, the shop unlocks new colors for your fighters, artwork, movies that you can view in the gallery. The last mode is the Nintendo Wi-Fi connection. Here you can free fight, challenge a friend, duke it out with a rival, or compete in a ranking match to earn a promotion. Ultimate All-Stars is more than just a port of cross-generation of heroes. For starters, 5 new fighters join the cast, so now there's 26 playable characters. Frank West from Dead Rising joins the fray with zombies and all. Zero beams in from Mega Man X, and he is just too awesome for words. Tekkaman Blade from the 1995 Gundam-ish anime joins the fight. Joe the Condor from G-Force swoops in to kick some serious butt. And Yatterman 2 is unlockable after beating the game with the 4 characters I just mentioned. Ultimate All-Stars is a tag team styled fighting game, where players need to switch out with your partner to survive. Or you can choose to play with 2 of the mechs, only you can't have another hero with you. New to the Capcom series is a variable aerial rave, which allows you to switch to your partner in midair. The Mega Crash is a defensive move that frees the character from a devastating combo assault, although it will sacrifice part of your life and 2 stocks of your power meter. The Baroque Cancel makes your fighter rainbow glow, and it cancels your previous attack, allowing you to extend combos, but it does drain some of your health as a result. Ultimate All-Stars can be played with multiple control options, but it's best to use the classic controller or an arcade stick. The major difference with Tatsunoko vs Capcom is the fact that it has a 3-button attack system, instead of 6 buttons like the Marvel vs Capcom series, which this actually plays to the Wii's strength. Players are able to chain together attacks with special moves very easily, and I was amazed how responsive and deep this Wii fighter really is. Players are going to notice a lot of gameplay mechanics returning from Marvel vs Capcom. Beginners are going to like the improved air combos, hyper moves, and advanced players will love being able to cancel moves with the Baroque system, and of course doing delayed hyper attacks. Unfortunately for me, I fall in the middle of this group. I'm not a beginner, and I'm certainly not an advanced T vs C player either. With that being said, this game does have some minor issues. Now, we haven't been big fans of the music in this game, and it doesn't seem to really add anything to the fights at all. For us, it just seemed very outdated. Online play is wonderful for the most part, but this is one title where you'll want to get yourself a Wii LAN, because its online experience is based on your connection alone. See, the Wi-Fi works great, much better than Brawl, but I've noticed some lag issues preventing the game from recognizing attack commands from me when fighting against Screw Attack G1s or other worldwide opponents. Other people have complained about not knowing the fighters from the Tatsunoko side, but in actuality 55% of those shows have been dubbed over here in the States, especially during the 70s, 80s, and early 90s. That being said, my beef with the game is only Alex and Frank speak English, everyone else speaks Japanese. Now, for characters like Zero and Beautiful Joe and Tekkaman Blade and a few others that were actually over in the US as dubbed animes and games, then they really have no excuse, they should have been in English. The broke cancel is a little bit too broken in this game, and most of the online fighters that you will encounter rely on this system way too much, making online matches very difficult for you to win. My last complaint is the ending for the characters. Now, in Cross Generation of Heroes, the endings were actually in beautiful anime quality. So what did we get? 3 still pictures, I know. Western players should feel very cheated. But what can I say, we'll probably forgive Capcom for this because the game is just so awesome and has so very few shortcomings, but anime would have been nice. One of the biggest things going for this game is the graphics. Capcom's newest Versus is one of the best looking Wii titles of 2010. It's no wonder PS3 and 360 fanboys are begging Capcom to do a multi-platform release of this game, because they want it. The visuals actually redefine what 2.5D cell shading is all about, folks. The animation is so fluid and beautiful to look at, yet it's done in a tasteful way that isn't distracting during heated battles. All the 15 different stages are very well done and reflect the respective universes very nicely. The audio quality is very well done, to say the least. While the techno music may feel a bit 1990s, the voiceovers, sound effects, environments, and hyper moves sounded like a full-on audio spectacle for my ears. The 2-man tag fighting system for Marvel vs. Capcom is a great return to the franchise. During the course of the fight, injured team members' health will actually regenerate, making matches last much longer than standard rounds. Switching in and out with your partner is mind-boggling, and the things advanced players can do with this is terrifying. Like Street Fighter 3, which is one of our favorite fighting games of all time, the air combos aren't that difficult to pull off. Actually, even beginners should be able to perform air attacks like a pro. Unlike Cross Generation of Heroes, online has been added to Ultimate All-Stars, and Capcom has compared the experience similar to what Namco Bandai did with the Clash of Ninja Naruto games. But they've upped the ante of the Wi-Fi. In fact, the Wi-Fi is so much better than most of the online titles on the Wii right now. The makings of a great fighter comes down to the gameplay and the well-rounded characters. While Capcom delivered big time this time, gamers, each character is unique and has great attacks, combos, and special moves too. It doesn't matter if you haven't heard of some of these amazing fighters, you're gonna love every single one of them. Some of our favorite Tatsunoko characters to play as had to be Ken the Eagle, Jun the Swan, San, Karas, and Tekka Man Blade. Tekka Man Blade had to be my favorite of the bunch since I actually watched the show in the mid-90s. It was such a cool show. On Capcom's side, Ryu and Chun-Li still dominated much of our playtime, but we had a blast playing with Beautiful Joe and Frank West. Still Zero is possibly the best new addition to the series. Fans of the Versus series are gonna hoot and cheer for the return of the delayed team hyper moves. This is the easiest way to chain in killer combos, and be able to call in your partner mid-attack was just awesome. There is no doubt in my mind that this is the best Capcom Versus game ever created, and it's been a long time since Marvel vs. Capcom 2, and personally, I really couldn't get into SNK vs. Capcom. Tatsunoko vs. Capcom just raised the bar of fighting games, period. Unlike most of the games on the Wii, we just can't stop gushing for this Wii fighter. The fact this game made it over to the US is shocking, but in a good way. Besides gameplay, when we look at a game, we're looking for what it has to offer the gamers in the long run. We're of course talking about replay value. The graphics and other bells and whistles are considered secondary. The online is very solid, and people will be playing this for years to come, I promise. Friends can battle worldwide, rivals are saved without needing to put in friend codes, and lag is very rare. T vs C also has very solid local multiplayer experience as well, which we had a lot of fun playing this game locally for weeks, and the amount of customization we had was epic. T vs C has a great balanced roster of fighters, cool looking stages, great moveset, different modes of play, and even a bonus Lost Planet minigame. So, Game Nights Entertainment gives Tatsunoko vs. Capcom Ultimate All-Stars for the Nintendo Wii amazing 9.5 out of 10. We cannot stress enough for you to pick up this game. Okay, that wraps up another Game Nights video review. Keep it locked here for new content all the time. This is K-Wing as always saying God bless and happy gaming. Until we meet again, gamers.